She praises Hillary Clinton for vying for the most powerful post in the free world with, quote, jowls, face creases, and a less than Pilates toned physique.
I think this is sexist. I was so surprised. A woman wrote it. B, the LA Times reported it. Hey, here in LA, they're thinking about putting Botox in the water, but that's irrelevant when somebody is running for office. This is not supposed to be about her hair, what color, if her breasts are hanging to her knees, if she's had Botox, or even veneers on dental work. This is sexist.
All right, joining us now, Suzanne Venker. She's a best-selling author of The War on Men. And Suzanne, welcome back. Good to talk to you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. All right, so, where was it? I think it was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where the hostess from Saturday Night Live said that true journalists do not report on the looks of candidates. As she made her plug for Hillary. Is this just the start? I mean, is this just the start of a protective ring, a feminist ring around Hillary, where if you say anything about basically anything, you're anti-woman?
Oh, there's no question about it. This will go on for, let's see, how long do we have? We just begun, haven't we? Yeah, it'll go on for a while, and you are not allowed to say anything about a Democratic female without being immediately labeled, like you said, anti-woman or misogynist or what have you. And that if it's, of course, about Sarah Palin or any Republican female whatsoever, that is fair game. That's the way it goes, and that's the politically correct version of the world we live in right now.
Yet, just the other day, actually, I think I have, let's do 58, if I'm not mistaken. I want you to hear 58. Hillary was talking at a women's forum late last week here in New York, and here's what she had to say.
When I was at the hospital with Chelsea, while she was there to give birth to my most amazing, fabulous, unbelievable granddaughter, I was talking to some of the nurses, and one of the nurses said to me, "Thank you for fighting for paid family leave." She said, "I see so many women who have their babies who are just distraught at a time that should be so exciting and joyful. They have to immediately go back to work."
All right, and the point of that was, bringing up the grandchild, and a lot of people predicted she would come to rely on bringing up the grandchild, eventually bringing out the grandchild, to be more relatable, to be more human, if you will.
So anything you can use.
Yeah, so it's easy. So it's okay for her to play on "I'm a grandmother," but no one dare call her a grandmother, or they're sexist, right?
That's right. It's a double standard that we're all too familiar with, and what makes it so horrible is that you can't have any honest dialogue whatsoever about gender. That's certainly the most frustrating thing that I have found in my work, is that I get so excited when I find somebody who doesn't have such strong feelings about these issues one way or the other, where it isn't so polarized, so that we can actually have the dialogue. But if you can't even say the slightest thing without being immediately typecast as anti-woman simply because you're pointing out a fact and you happen to be female, for example, how are you ever going to have, we're certainly not going to get anywhere, but how are you ever going to have good dialogue? You just can't. You're just shot down.
And Suzanne, when it comes to looks, I mean, when people analyze the Nixon JFK debate and results of the election, what do they point to? Nixon's 5 o'clock shadow, he sweat, he looked uncomfortable. And we always talk about when Bill Clinton ran, he was young, he looked great. So why is it off limits, or why should it be off limits to say, if you feel this way, that Hillary looks old, she looks worn out? Because she's a woman, you're not allowed to talk about physical appearance, only a guy?
Well, both should be fair game for sure. But of course, there's no men who are going to come out and scream about a male candidate being targeted in that way. Men just don't do that, number one. But also, I do think that I would like to see everything sort of.
All right, Suzanne,
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
Sorry.
now I could. Yeah, I got one more question. Will a Republican, we got 30 seconds, will a Republican candidate, you think, be able to overcome what he or she's going to be up against?
The right candidate, absolutely. I think so. I think there are a couple of strong Republican females that we should be looking at that might just have what it takes, for sure.
Okay, and a male? Any of the males?
I don't know. I thought you were asking specifically about women, but
No. I mean, whoever the Republican candidate is, I hope they're not overly intimidated, and I hope they don't stop themselves from saying things. Yeah.
Republicans in general are far less intimidated by those sorts of things, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. All right, Suzanne, great to talk to you. We'll speak to you again as this wears on. Thank you.
Thank you.